Hello everyone, it's Lindsay, and today I'm going to be documenting this photo of my boys. This is actually the last photo that I took with them in the NICU. They got to go home this day, so this is what I'm going to be documenting today, and I'm using mostly products from the Sarah kit from Felicity Jane, and I'll have a shortened tutorial over on their Instagram stories today if you want to just like flick through and see how to quickly put together this page, but I wanted a video too just in case you missed that. So I've already gone ahead and prepared some of the pieces from the kit. I'm going to show you how I create the layered floral stamps using the stamp set from this month, and then a couple of other pieces from the collection. So let me go ahead and put you on fast forward, and we'll go ahead and put this layout together. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start with a sheet of 8.5 by 11 white cardstock. This is the Essentials white cardstock from Felicity Jane. This is the first time I think that I've used it, maybe the second time. I love it. It is the perfect white to match the whites of the papers in the kit. Now, I know that seems silly and like, Lindsay, why is that important? But it's so nice to just have all the whites be consistent because there are like 50 billion different shades of white. And it's a nice weight of cardstock, so I really like that. I also went ahead and cut out some strips of pattern paper from the Sarah kit this month. What I'm doing is I'm actually using a sketch that I found on Pinterest as inspiration for this layout. So I will link that sketch down below so you can check that out. Sketches are a great way, especially if you're new to scrapbooking like I am. Just really helps you in giving you creative ways to use your products or to create just, you know, visual shapes and things on your layouts that maybe you hadn't thought of before. And so I love sketches. They help this girl out. So I'll link that down below so you can check it out. And it's always fun to kind of change them up, change out elements to kind of work with whatever project that you're doing or the, you know, particular photo or the products that you have. So if you look at that sketch, I do change just a few of the elements in the way that I do the layout, but I love how it comes together. So I have this photo and I'm going to back it with some of the yellow patterned paper. I'd already pre-cut that out. Like I said, I have an Instagram story over on the Felicity Jane Instagram today, just showing a quick process of putting this page together. And so that was new for me, so I had to like take photos throughout the video. So I had to kind of approach things a little bit different for this video, but I think you'll get the gist. So before I stick this down, I'm going to apply some double-sided adhesive, but only to 3 sides of the back of this photo. So the 2 sides and the bottom. I'm going to use this photo to actually create a pocket for some journaling. So I don't know about you, but I like to do a lot of journaling, and sometimes it can be kind of hard to incorporate that into the layout and have it still be visually pleasing. And I don't have a typewriter. I can print my journaling, but I usually handwrite it, and my handwriting is not very pretty. So this just gives me more space to journal and a place to kind of tuck it away so it's not super obvious. And then there's a lot of storytelling that I want to do with this image. So this just gives it a fun way to do that. I think pockets are going to be kind of my go-to for scrapbooking layouts and just a fun way to add the journaling for me personally. So I'm going to set that aside for just a second. We're going to work on the embellishments here. So I have pulled out the floral stamp set from the Sarah kit, and I have the Solid Most floral, and I've loaded it up into a stamp positioning tool. You don't have to stamp these with a stamp positioning tool, but it's pretty intricate and I don't know, kind of finicky to line up the outlines with this, so it's easier with a tool like this, but you can do it with just a clear block if you take your time. So I went ahead and inked up with a light pink ink for the base, and then now I'm going in with the outline image. So I heat set this ink. I'm applying my powder tool to it because I'm going to do some embossing. So I've loaded up the outline. I'm going to ink it up with some gold pigment ink and then stamp it and emboss it with clear embossing powder. So this is a way to get a colored embossing effect if you don't have a lot of different colors of embossing powders. I do have several gold colored embossing powders, but I just thought I would do things a little bit different this time, show you a different way to do it. So the other nice thing about being a stamp positioning tool, in a stamp positioning tool, is that you can ink up and stamp the stamp multiple times if you need to really build up the color, or if you don't get a perfect stamping the first time. So that's what I did there. While the pigment ink is still wet, I applied some clear embossing powder to this. And this just adds a lot more shine and texture to this element, and so it just looks a little bit fancier, I guess, than just a plain flat stamped image. So while that is still hot, you can add another layer of the embossing powder, and that just builds up the embossing, gives it more texture, more dimension. And I love how this just traps in the like shininess of that gold ink, and it's just a lot of fun. Now I do use the stamp positioning tool to stamp the center of the floral, just in case I don't get it perfectly, you know, stamped the first time, because I'm stamping over those embossed areas. And you do want to use a permanent ink when you stamp over embossing, because it does have like a clear or like a glossy finish, so that works better that way. Off camera, I also went ahead and stamped out some of the greenery using a green ink, and then fussy cut all of those out. Now, there is a coordinating die set for the stamp set. I did order it right after I filmed this video, so I hate fussy cutting. So if you hate fussy cutting, there is a matching die set you can pick up from Felicity Jane as well. And then this little floral here, I fussy cut out of one of the patterned papers, and I'm just gonna kind of layer these up and create a little cluster. I don't know about you, but I am obsessed with the florals this month. I think I say that every single month. I love the Felicity Jane florals, but this month is just extra pretty. And I love having floral stamps, because those are stamps that I can get so much use out of again and again and again. I can do cards, I can do layouts, I can, you know, create custom embellishments. So floral stamps are kind of one of those ones, like alpha stamps, that I really like to invest in and have a large variety of. Now, I did go ahead and decide to pop some of these elements up on foam adhesive just to give some dimension, and just kind of, you know, layer things up and just kind of playing with the greenery bits down there. I did stamp the greenery with Evergreen Bow Distress ink, if you're wondering about the greens that I picked. So here I'm starting to finish up my embellishing when I realize that I forgot something. So in the sketch, there is this layered, like a frame layered behind the photo. So I had already cut out the frame out of some pattern paper, had it laying there, and then totally forgot to use it. So I'm going to try to peel things up, but I can't get the photo off the background, but that's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and cut apart the frame, and it's still gonna look like it's layered behind. Nobody's gonna know except for all of you who watch this video. Are not gonna know that I messed up, but I used one of the punch boards. I think it's a frame punch board. I'll link it down below, to cut out this frame out of some pattern paper. You can just use scissors or a craft knife. You don't have to have the punch board, but I have it, trying to make some use out of it, so I'll link that down below if you're curious about that. But here's where I'm trying to kind of eyeball where that's going to go, make my little marks, and then I can just cut this apart, do surgery on it, and make it look like it was layered behind, and I didn't forget to do this step. Now on the sketch, there is like a large camera, like die cut or something in this area, and I just swapped that out for the florals because I wanted to use the florals rather than a camera, and it just worked better with the products that I was using. So you'll notice that that's kind of a change up from the sketch that I'm going off of. So here you can see it getting lined up there, and it's gonna look like I didn't mess up. And then I can go ahead and stick things back down. I usually, when I'm doing a project or working on a project, I don't like stick things down 100% till the very end, just in case things like this happen. So I went ahead and reattached everything there, and then off camera I die cut out this tag die cut out of one of the pattern papers, and this is where my journaling is going to be. So like I said, I have quite a bit of journaling I want to do. This photo, like I said, was taken the last day they were in the NICU. If you've ever had a NICU baby, then you'll know what a room in is. So your last day in the NICU, they actually give you a hospital room, and you spend the night at the hospital with the baby, or babies in my case, just to make sure that you're comfortable being overnight with the baby and everything goes smooth and everything's good, you know, they're eating fine, all that goodness, before you go home. So that is what I had done all by myself with the boys. Dave had to work, and so this is the morning after their room in. They're laying on the bed. We're just waiting for discharge papers to go home. So the boys had been in the hospital for about 8 weeks, and could not wait to get them home. I love this photo. It was quite the long haul staying in the NICU, and so I wanted to just document about that on the back of this tag there. So now I'm just filling in the date and the title. My title is going to say Headed Home, using a combination of different alpha stickers from Felicity Jane. Like I said, everything will be linked down in the description box down below for you guys if you want to see specifically what I used. Eyelash tweezers are my go-to craft tool for adding stickers and things like that. So I'm going to speed this up quite a bit because now it's just the finishing details. So I'm using one of the new mint colored little mini paper clips that came out this month. I'm just going to clip that on there. I pulled out some wood veneer hearts. I think this is from an old Christmas kit maybe. I did double check and these are still available, so they will be linked down below as well. Now when I'm attaching wood veneer to a project, I like to use a matte gel medium because that's kind of intended for mixed media like this, and so it's a really strong adhesive that's going to make sure that these don't fall off of my layout. This one in particular is clear when it dries, so if I make a mess, it's not the end of the world. You can't tell that the glue is all over the place. Now in the sketch, there was like splatters of ink or paint in these areas, but I wanted a more controlled way to add color. So I decided to use these epoxy stickers from the Sarah kit this month, and this is just a way to get that same look, but also pull in some of the different colors and kind of spread things out, like pulling yellow down into that right hand corner, pulling some pink up into the top left, and just kind of, you know, adding a sprinkle of the different colors that I used on this layout. So that is it. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave those down below. Check out the description box for links to everything that I used today. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. And until next time, thank you so much. Bye-bye.